Ooh, good job. Hi, Keita. I can't wait to walk down the aisle with Derek.
They stole my wedding. But what I didn't know then was that life was only preparing me for something greater. I'm Michelle, and this is how I lost everything, only to find peace, power, and love where I least expected. I always believed my wedding day would be the happiest day of my life. I could see it clearly, the church draped in white flowers, my friends cheering, and Derek waiting at the altar with that smile I had fallen in love with. But life had other plans. It started with a strange feeling that something wasn't right. My best friend, Clara, had grown unusually close to Derek. At first, I dismissed it. She was like a sister to me. She helped me pick my dress, handled decorations, and never left my side. Soon, though, things didn't add up. Derek became distant, distracted, even avoiding my calls. He blamed wedding stress, but deep down I sensed the truth. 3 nights before the wedding, I went to his apartment unannounced. Rain poured as I held my umbrella, my heart pounding not from the cold, but from fear. When the door opened, my heart froze. Clara was there, wearing his shirt. She froze too, seeing me. Derek appeared behind her, shirtless, eyes wide. "It's not what you think," he stammered. But it was exactly what I thought. My world shattered. The man I loved, the friend I trusted, both had stolen not just my wedding, but a part of me I could never reclaim. I didn't scream. I didn't confront them. I just turned and walked away, letting the rain wash away every illusion I had cherished. The next morning, I canceled everything. My family tried to stop me, but I couldn't walk down an aisle built on betrayal. The news spread like wildfire. Whispers followed me everywhere. She was dumped. Her friend took her man. For days, I replayed every memory, the laughter, the plans, the dreams. All gone. But something inside me refused to break. I whispered to myself, "You must rise. You must survive." I didn't know it then, but leaving Derek and Clara behind was the first step toward a story far greater than any I had imagined. Starting over wasn't easy. I arrived in the city with 2 suitcases, a bruised heart, and a single promise to myself: I would never let pain define me again. Days turned into weeks. I applied for jobs everywhere, but most doors closed before I could even finish my story. Until one morning, I received a call from Regal Group, a prestigious firm known for its excellence and powerful CEO. Walking into that building for the interview felt intimidating. The glass walls, the polished floors, the air of confidence, it all reminded me how small I felt after Derek's betrayal. Then I met him, Mr. Alexander Reed, the CEO. Tall, composed, and quietly confident. His presence filled the room, yet his eyes carried warmth, the kind that looked through pain, not around it. He asked about my past experience. My voice trembled, but I told him the truth, that I had once been a wedding planner, until my own wedding fell apart. For a moment, there was silence. Then he said softly, "Sometimes, broken things make the strongest designs." That line stayed with me. He didn't pity me, he respected my honesty. I got the job. The following weeks felt like a new beginning. I buried myself in work, finding purpose again. I managed events, led projects, and learned from Mr. Reed's calm, focused leadership. But then came a revelation that froze me. Alexander Reed was Derek's uncle. It happened one evening when Mr. Reed shared a story during a staff dinner. He spoke about a young relative who had made a foolish decision that cost him everything. His tone carried disappointment and compassion, the kind only family could hold. In that moment, I realized, he was talking about Derek. Fate had brought me here, full circle. I had found my peace in the very circle that had once broken me. Mr. Reed began to notice my diligence. He would often say, "There's grace in the way you carry pain." Those words healed me more than he knew. Gradually, I noticed the way he looked at me, not with desire, but with deep respect. In meetings, during lunches, and especially in quiet moments, his gaze carried something safe, something real. One evening after a company gala, he walked me to my car. "You've changed the atmosphere here," he said. "You remind me that integrity still exists." I smiled, my voice barely above a whisper. "I only did what I had to do to survive." He paused, then said, "Survival is good, but I see strength in you. Real strength." For the first time in a long while, I felt seen. Not as the woman who was betrayed, but as a woman reborn. Little did I know, my peace was about to be tested, because Derek was coming back into my story, and this time, I wouldn't be the one in tears. Two years passed since I joined Regal Group. In that time, I rebuilt myself, piece by piece. What began as a job became a purpose, and what began as respect between Mr. Reed and me grew into something deeper, steady, kind, and real. One evening, under the golden lights of the company's anniversary dinner, Alexander held my hand and said the words I never thought I'd hear again. "You've been my strength when I didn't even know I needed one. Will you let me walk beside you, not as your boss, but as your partner?" Tears filled my eyes. This time, they weren't from pain, but from peace. Months later, we married quietly, no crowd, no drama, just love and mutual respect. I didn't wear the gown I once bought for Derek, I gave that away. This new chapter didn't need leftovers from my past. For a long while, I thought that chapter of my life was closed, until one afternoon, as I left the company building, I saw him. Derek. He looked older. Worn. The confident smile I once knew was gone. His marriage to Clara had fallen apart. The company they tried to start together had collapsed. Now, there he stood, staring at me in shock as I stepped into a car driven by his uncle's chauffeur. Later that night, my phone rang. Unknown number. When I answered, a trembling voice said, "I just found out. You married him? My uncle?" I stayed silent for a moment, then said softly, "Yes, Derek. I did." He laughed bitterly. "You're punishing me, aren't you?" I smiled faintly. "No, Derek. Life did that already." Days later, he came to my office, unannounced. He pleaded, cried, apologized. Said he missed me, that he made a mistake, that he still loved me. But as he spoke, I realized something. I felt nothing. No anger. No hurt. Just peace. "Derek," I said gently, "you didn't just lose me because of what you did. You lost me because I grew beyond the woman who once needed your love." He stared at me, broken, whispering, "He'll never love you the way I did." I met his eyes and smiled. "That's the point, Derek. He never will." Later that evening, I stood on the balcony of our home beside Alexander. He placed his arm around me and said, "Some storms come to clear the path. I nodded, watching the city lights twinkle below. And sometimes, losing everything is the only way to find peace. Days later, Derek showed up at Alexander's office, unannounced, restless, eyes red from sleepless nights. He wasn't expecting to see me there, reviewing charity projects with the executive team. When our eyes met, the room froze. "Michelle," he said, voice trembling, "I need to talk to you, please." Alexander rose, every inch the powerful man he was, but his tone was calm. "Derek, my wife has nothing to discuss with you. You made your choices. Respect hers." Derek scoffed, trying to regain the arrogance that used to intimidate me. "Uncle, you don't understand. She's not what you think." Alexander cut him short. "She is exactly what I think, strong, kind, and far beyond the boy who once mistook her heart for a toy." Derek's voice broke. "You can't just take her away. She was mine." Those words echoed in the glass-walled room like thunder. Everyone turned. His own uncle's eyes hardened. "No, Derek. You threw her away. And you threw away your honor with her." News of the confrontation spread quickly through the family. And for the first time, they didn't call to defend him. They called to congratulate me. To apologize. To say I deserved better. It felt surreal, the same people who once pitted me now speaking of respect. Weeks later, I ran into Derek again, this time at a charity dinner Alexander and I hosted. He looked lost, thinner, older. When our eyes met, he whispered, "You really found peace." I smiled softly. "No, Derek. Peace found me when I stopped chasing pain. I never planned revenge. I only learned to heal. And sometimes, that's the sweetest revenge of all, when your scars become your strength, and your past stands before you, wishing they'd treated you better." Some stories end with heartbreak. Mine ended with grace. I lost a wedding, but found a marriage. I lost a dream, but found my destiny. And in the end, Derek's jealousy became the echo of his own choices, while mine became the silence of peace.